on the upper. And I see it. And what am I setting there, Jenny, if I'm going to lose top?
And Steve, can you confirm that you've picked up the PGT, left the RET on the bag, so that's now on your swing arm, and I need a glove inspection hat check.
Okay, you did the glove inspection hat check first.
And we were getting a view there briefly of the IROSAs, and there we see it again here, the International Space Station rollout arrays. There's two on that pallet on the very left of your screen. One of them is going to be installed today, and the other will be installed on June 15th. We're also getting a view of the Canadarm2, which Hoburg will be utilizing today when he moves the IROSA to the 1A power channel.
Give me 1 second. All right, Jenny, I have the PGT, and you want me to leave this RET on here, correct?
Affirm, leave the RET on your swing, or leave the RET on the bag and RET swap to the swing arm RET.
All right, that's going to work. If you give me the PGT settings, I can give the COM to, please.
Bravo 2, counter 2.
Bravo 2, counter 2. All right, I'll let you know if we get contact before I've done, if I haven't done it yet.
Copy, and that was a good readback.
Steve, you good? I am Jared Woody. You can have the call. Copy, thanks.
And also in your frame there you can see a Dragon vehicle that actually brought up the ISS rollout solar arrays. That Dragon docked to the International Space Station on Monday.
Awareness is going to be bringing the arm towards you. That is station.
Following the docking, the ISS rollout solar arrays were removed from Dragon's trunk and placed on that pallet that you just saw there. And next, our spacewalkers are going to work to remove that first IROSA solar array by removing some bolts and working through some procedures to loosen it up before it can be hand carried by Hoburg on the robotic arm.
Half a meter to go.
Continue.
Copy, continue. $20 to go.
Continue to publish.
10 to go, continue to publish. And ramping out. Okay, we did. That is our published position. How's that looking?
All right, Sultan, can you please give me 50 centimeters station nadir?
Copy with the half a meter station nadir in work.
Thank you. I see good motion.
Copy, good motion. Okay, 30 centimeters to go.
Continue.
Continuing. Okay, ramping out. Okay, we did. That is half a meter station nadir.
Copy, Sultan. That is GCA complete. That's a perfect position.
Right, copy. GCA complete, and brakes are coming on.
Copy, brakes on. And I'll be installing the APFR.
Woody, we're looking
That's
for...
affirmative. You are go to install the APFR.
Woody, we're looking
Copy,
for
go.
a clocking of 12.
Copy, clocking 12, and I already confirmed Papa, Fox 6 set.
Good settings. Steve, I'm back with you.
Thanks, Jim. I'm at 5 turns, Bravo 2, counterclockwise 2, and releasing R5.
Copy. The boat will spring out when fully released, and you'll see a white line indicator. Expect 18 to 20 turns.
Hoberg continuing to step through procedures to get that articulating portable foot restraint installed on the Canadarm2. This articulating portable foot restraint, or APFR, allows him to click his spacewalking boots into it so that he can ride aboard the Canadarm2. He'll be carrying the IROSA while he does so.
Any APFRs installed in the arm. Talking at 12, Papa Fox 6. Always black on black, good pull twist test, and the pitch knob can be depressed.
Copy, Woody. Good checks. Now we'll need you to perform a safety tether swap to the arm. Let me know when your yellow hook is on the SSRMS tether point, and I'll take your checks.
All right, sounds good, Jenny. All right, that bolt is released. I got 27 turns. I let it do a couple of bumps so that it would verify that it was clear.
Copy, 27 turns and the bolt is fully released. Can you see a white line indicator?
And there's a white line indicator.
Copy, you can stow your PGT.
And we are currently in an expected handover between our satellites. We do have communications with the crew, however, we do not have video at this moment, but we'll regain it.
Copy, translate to Stanchion Bravo.
Hoberg has completed installing the APFR on the robotic arm.
All right, Jenny, my yellow hook is gate closed, locked, black on black to the SSRMS tether point. Green hook is stowed on mile marker 6360, and that green reel is unlocked.
Copy, Woody. That is a good config. Ensure that Steve's tether is clear of your green hook, and then you can work with Frank to get to the ingress position.
All right, let me get eyes on Steve's tether. It's well clear. And I am in a great config for APFR ingress. No GCA needed.
Okay, Woody, we are copy and brakes are still on. You are go for APFR ingress.
Copy. Brakes on. Go for ingress. Thank you. Still on.
Woody, you need to attach a waist tether to the ingress aid.
Yep, inward cams. Thanks.
And Steve, say again if I missed a call from you.
I'm at Stanchion Bravo.
And Hoberg has successfully gotten that articulating portable foot restraint installed on the Canadarm2. He's now going to work to click his boots into the articulating portable foot restraint and ingress it. This will allow him to fly on the Canadarm2. And you are seeing him work to ingress that APFR on your screen right there.
So I've got Bravo 2, counterclockwise 2, going to R5, and looking for full release and a white indicator.
Good word, Steve. Expect 18 to 20 turns I have written here.
All right, 18 to 20 turns. Okay. And Steve, I'm going to look for the comm again when you have a chance. Hey, we'll take the comm. Thanks. Sultan, I'm ready for thrust back off.
Right, copy. Woody, you are ready and brakes are coming off.
Copy, brakes off.
Woody, check your tools and tethers are clear. We need you to confirm that.
Thanks, James. Yep, tools and tethers are all clear.
Copy. I agree. You are go to proceed. Woody, we also are hearing that your left safer handle might be up. We need you to check both of them.
Got it. Your team was correct. And both safer handles are down.
Copy. Both safer handles down on Woody. Thank you. You guys are doing great on time.
Woody, ready when you are. We're going to bring you first station forward about 80 centimeters and then station later 3 meters, 60 centimeters.
Ron, I'm ready for all of that. You go.
And starting motion, station forward.
Good motion, Sultan.
Copy, good motion.
And as you can see on your screen now, Hoburg now being moved while in that articulating portable foot restraint on the Canada arm. That Canada arm is being operated by United Arab Emirates astronaut Sultan Al Nayati, who is inside the International Space Station. Hoburg is going to be translated to a better position to help NASA astronaut Steve Bowen remove some bolts and an anti-rotation device which will enable the IROSA to be released from the pallet. Following this, Hoburg will hand carry it while on the Canada Arm 2 over to the 1A worksite.
Okay, 2 meters to go.
Continue.
Okay, continue. Okay, 1 meter to go.
And this view from NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg's helmet cam as he is on the Canada Arm 2. Looks like he's taking this opportunity to get some truly out of this world photography.
And ramping out.
That looks good, Sultan.
Okay, Woody, just a heads up. Next, we're going to take you to the Volt Axis joinocast, and that'll be 2 minutes and a half.
I'm ready for that. Okay, thanks, Sultan. Okay, Jenny, I've got Bravo 3, counterclockwise 2 set up. There were 20 turns. The lower IROSA with a good white band.
Copy. I understand R5 on the lower IROSA is released with 20 turns. You should be pretty much at the bolts for C2. We are going to work on releasing these anti-rotation devices so you can attach an adjustable equipment tether end from your small trash bag to the ARD tether point.
Okay, let me get that done.
You are ready when you are for the joinocast.
I'm ready, Sultan, thanks.
Then starting motion.
Copy. Good motion, Sultan.
Good motion.
And Hoburg continuing to be moved on the Canadarm2. Meanwhile, Bowen is working with the pistol grip tool, or PGT, to release bolts. This is a restraint bolt. Next up, he's going to work on releasing the anti-rotation devices. All of this is in preparation for ultimately removing the International Space Station rollout solar array from this carrier, this pallet that it is temporarily stowed on. And as Hoburg continues to make his way over to his first work site, the International Space Station is currently flying 258 statute miles off the coast of Nova Scotia over the North Atlantic Ocean.
Woody, we need you to repower your HECA.
Copy. Power off, then power back on. You got it. Oh, actually, Jenny, I just pressed the power button and I see a green light, so it should be on now.
Yes, we just needed you to power it on. That's correct. It was knocked off earlier.
Okay, copy.
Getting a really great view here of Woody Hoburg in the articulating portable foot restraint.
Counterclockwise to
Good readback.
the 10 turns, correct?
Yes, 10 turns only. A reminder, these are not captive, so we only want to release 10 turns.
10 turns only.
And in Hoburg's hand, you can see the PGT, or pistol grip tool. This is essentially the space drill. It's going to be utilized a lot throughout today's spacewalk, first to remove the IROSA from the pallet and then to reinstall it on the 1A power channel.
Copy. Thanks, James. Good reminder. I have Alpha 4 counter 2 set for R1 and R2.
Those are good settings, Woody. It doesn't matter to us which of these bolts you do first, but the bolt will spring out when it's fully released. You have the same settings for both of them.
Copy, thanks. All right, I get 8.8 turns.
Copy. That was 8 turns. Steve, and you can remove the ARD, and then we'll be torquing back this bolt.
All right, pulling the ARD off. I can set Sultan, I'm ready for in-law 3.
Okay, Woody, we need a few seconds to set up our values here.
Take your time. Yeah, that ARD is removed.
Copy. ARD removed. Your settings are Bravo 1 clockwise 2, and you'll be driving this stop block bolt to torque.
Bravo 1 clockwise 2. That's set.
Good settings.
Bravo. One clockwise 2.
Woody, ready for the next motion? So it's going to be body N, meter and 60 centimeters.
Fine, that sounds great. You go for that motion.
Copy, go and start the motion then.
We are 48 minutes into today's spacewalk, and NASA astronauts Steve Bowen and Woody Hoberg are continuing to work together to remove bolts from the International Space Station rollout solar array in order to release it so that it can be carried on the Canadarm2. To step through the next set of procedures is I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Anna Schneider, who's going to step through the next set of procedures with you.
That's all right. Yeah.
Okay, 1 meter to go, Woody.
Continue.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, I copy 11 foot-pounds and a green light. Could you say turn count again?
Turn count was 0.5.
Half a meter to go.
Continue.
Copy, continue.
We're just checking on those turns, Steve.
The bumper rolled on top of the mount. You might not get as many turns as you might have expected. Okay, so it's on stop motion. But you can look at it. It's on there nice and snug.
Woody, we are in the published position and you are go for unbolting.
See where it's on there. It's not turning. It's on the bump. It's on the mount. It didn't go past the mount. You see it?
Now you can see NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg beginning to release the R bolts.
All right, Steve, I'm sorry, one more time. We're going to have you say what you saw on those turns and whether you counted the turns or you're reading them off.
Well, I counted the turns correctly. Bumper, the lock, when it turned, it went onto the mount for the bolt stanchion. Therefore, it is locked in place. You can still see threads below the bumper, and the C2 bolt is clear.
All right, thanks for the clarification again, Steve. This is a good bolt. You can store your PGT, and we'll have you translate to stanchion Charlie for the Charlie 1 ARD.
Okay, heading over to Charlie for...
The bolts that Hoberg is working on are on the boom end of the upper IROSA, or International Space Station Rollout Solar Array. The first two bolts will allow the boom deployment system rollers to be moved into place to help with the array deployment later in the spacewalk.
And we see you rotating the deployment system.
Bolt sprung out, and it was 9.5 on R2.
Copy, 9.5. That is a good bolt release, Woody. We need you to access R3 and R4 next. You can GCA if you need to. I have new settings for you, and as a reminder, these will be the 245 turn bolts, so we need you in a good body position.
You just heard confirmation that Woody Hoberg successfully released 2 of the bolts, and he's moving on to the second set.
And Woody, we are ready.
Okay, Sultan, half a meter station, correction, half a meter body down.
And we copy half a meter body down. Okay, starting motion.
Copy. Good motion.
Copy, good motion.
You're hearing some conversation between NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg and UAE astronaut Sultan Al-Niyadi, who is inside the space station operating the robotic arm, as he moves Woody Hoberg down a little bit to access the next set of bolts.
Okay, you can ramp out.
Stopping out. Motion stop.
GCA complete.
Copy, GCA complete.
Steve, once in position, you can tether to the ARD tether point, and then I have settings for you for the stop block bolt.
Complete. And I'm ready for settings.
Bravo 3, counter 2, 10 turns only.
Bravo 3, counter 2. And Jenny, I have Alpha 3, clockwise 3 for R3.
Copy Alpha 3 for clockwise 3. Verify your PGT turn count is 0.
Confirm it's 0.
Copy PGT turn count is 0. You can release R3.
Copy. Starting turns.
Copy, Woody.
The second set of bolts that Woody Hoberg is currently working on will release 2 of 4 mechanisms that hold the ISS rollout solar array in its rolled up configuration. When folded, the IROSA measures approximately 10 feet by 2 feet by 4 feet.
Got 8 turns, and it's loose for the ARD.
Copy 8 turns on the ARD, or on the stop block bolt, you can remove the ARD.
And that's removed, the ARD is removed, ready for settings to drive back in.
Bravo 1, clockwise 2.
Bravo 1, clockwise 2.
30 seconds from short handover.
While NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg continues to work on those bolts, NASA astronaut Steve Bowen continues to work on the anti-rotation device.
Copy, Steve. You've driven the stop block bolt, 12.1 torque, 7 turns, and a green light. Steve, I'm back with you after the handover, 12.1 torque, 7 turns, and a green light. You can stow the ARDs in the crew lock bag.
All right, heading over there.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen has released both of the ARDs, or anti-rotation devices, and will begin stowing them in his crew lock bag. Here on the screen, we continue to see NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg work on releasing the second set of bolts on the boom end of the upper IROSA.
All right, ARD is going in. And I think I pull out the tool, the copy caddy.
Affirm, Steve. Those are good words. we need the 5/8 12-inch wobble on your PGT, and you can stow the 7/16 on the socket caddy.
All right. And I'll put that in work. JOD is nice and stuffed in here.
Copy.
Jenny, 245 turns, R3, turkey timer popped out.
Copy. 245 turns on R3 with the turkey timer popped out. Your settings are alpha 3, counter 3 for R4.
Alpha 3, counter 3, set 0 turns on the PGT.
Here go.
Starting to.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is currently working on the last of the 4 bolts. These last 2 bolts release 2 of 4 mechanisms that hold the IROSA or ISS rollout solar array in its rolled up configuration.
The 12-inch wobble is a good tool test on the tether caddy, going for the 5/8 12-inch.
Steve, I copy a good pull test on the 7/16 12-inch on the socket caddy.
That's correct. All right, good pull test on the 12-inch 5/8 wobble on my PGT.
All right, and good pull test on the 5/8-inch 12-inch on your PGT. Steve, now we will be breaking torque on the IROSA FSE bolts. You can translate to bolt Charlie 1, which is stanchion Charlie. Should be right next to you.
Charlie 1 right next to me. All right, there's Charlie 1.
We'll be breaking torque on this bolt, less than half a turn. Your settings are Bravo 3, counter 2.
Bravo 3, counter 2.
Good words.
And I want to get myself in a good position. All right, Bravo 3, counterclockwise 2.
Good words.
Less than half a turn, correct?
Affirm. And big picture for all crew, we are about a minute and a half from an LOS. We have voice comm for the first 5 minutes, and for the last 5 minutes, I'm still prime IV. I will hand over to Frank when I need to.
And Jenny, if you want copies, and I had 0.54 turns on C1.
Copy. Torque broken on C1. You can translate to C2.
Jenny, I copied R4 release 245 turns, turkey timer out.
Copy, Woody. Great job. R4 release, 245 turns, and you see the turkey timer. You can work with Frank to move to the carrier back off.
You just heard confirmation that NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg finished releasing the fourth bolt. That bolt was holding the IROSA in its rolled up configuration.
Hey, Woody, and this is basically bring you body out 1 meter 60 centimeters, and that is station forward.
You also heard them reference something called a turkey timer. That is basically just a status indicator to ensure that the bolts are fully released. We are now in an expected handover that will last about 15 minutes. We are currently about 1 hour and 5 minutes into today's spacewalk. It began at 8:25 Central Time this morning, 9:25 a.m. Eastern Time, when the spacesuit switched to battery power. Steve Bowen, who is EV1 with the red stripes, egressed the crew lock and received a crew lock bag, and then EV2, who is Woody Hoberg, followed him shortly after. Bowen then translated up the forward face of the truss and went starboard, configuring his safety tethers on the way, and then Hoberg followed a similar path, but went to the port crew equipment translation aid, or CETA cart, to temporarily stow his bag and retrieve the articulating portable foot restraint. Bowen then translated to the IROSA, or International Space Station Rollout Solar Array carrier, stowed his bag, and retrieved the pistol grip tool. Bowen began preparing the IROSA for removal from the carrier, first releasing a restraint bolt on the upper IROSA. Meanwhile, Woody Hoberg relocated the foot restraint and installed it on the space station's robotic arm. From there, Woody Hoberg ingressed the foot restraint, and then the arm moved him away from the truss and towards the work site. Bowen translated to the lower IROSA and released its first restraint bolt, and then released both anti-rotation devices on the upper IROSA and stowed them in the crew lock bag. While on the robotic arm, Woody Hoberg was flown over to access 2 different sets of bolts on the boom end of the upper IROSA. The first 2 bolts allowed the boom deployment system rollers to be moved into place to help with the array deployment later in the spacewalk, and then the second 2 bolts released 2 of 4 mechanisms that hold the IROSA in its rolled up configuration. The goal of today's spacewalk is to install an IROSA, or International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, to augment power generation for the 1A power channel on the space station's starboard truss. The new solar arrays measure 60 feet long by 20 feet wide once they're deployed, and shade a little more than half of the original solar arrays, which are 112 feet long by 39 feet wide. Each new IROSA produces more than 20 kilowatts of electricity, and once installed will enable a 30% increase in power production over the station's current arrays. There's about 6 minutes left in this 15-minute loss of signal before we'll return to seeing Steve Bowen and Woody Hoberg working on today's spacewalk. Once we're back, we'll see Steve Bowen working on releasing the upper IROSA restraint bolt and installing the first two handling aids called scoops in preparation for removing the IROSA, or International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, from the carrier. Currently aboard the International Space Station, we have the Expedition 69 crew, which includes NASA astronauts Frank Rubio, who is inside the space station helping with today's spacewalk. Also inside the space station is UAE astronaut Sultan Al-Niyadi and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Prokopyev and Dmitry Petelin. And then, of course, our spacewalkers today are NASA astronauts Steve Bowen and Woody Hoberg. Here in the room, we have Flight Director Diane Daly at the helm, and she goes by the call sign Horizon Flight. And then serving as the prime ground IV, we have Ginny Gibbons. There's about 1 minute left in this loss of signal, and then we'll quickly return to seeing what Woody Hoberg and Steve Bowen are progressing. Today's spacewalk is the 264th spacewalk in support of space station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades, and the 7th spacewalk out of the space station for this year.
Sultan, I'm ready to continue.
You have 40 centimeters to go. Start.
Good motion.
Good motion.
So during that loss of signal, Steve Bowen released the upper iROSA restraint bolt and installed the first two handling aids called scoops in preparation for removing the iROSA from the carrier.
Clear, continue.
You can now hear some discussion between NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg, who is on the Canadarm Robotic 2, and UAE astronaut Sultan Al Niyadi, who is inside the space station maneuvering the arm.
So is that looking, Woody, do you want any further GCA?
Yep, assessing. Stand by. Tom, could I please go body down about 20 centimeters?
They are flying Woody Hoburg to the hinge end of the upper iROSA. Once there, both Woody Hoburg and Steve Bowen will work to remove the final bolt holding it to the carrier, and then Steve Bowen will install a second scoop, and Woody Hoburg will then lift it off of the carrier.
Holding.
And Sultan, that's a great spot. GCA complete.
Okay, GCA complete, and that was 15 centimeters body down.
Perfect.
We copy GCA complete. Woody, attach a RET to the scoop, which is on iROSA.
Okay, James, I have a RET on the scoop on iROSA, left side.
Copy. Warning for both of you.
Okay, Jenny,
Steve, go.
I have the first scoop on my mini workstation. It's the long duration tie down tether. Do I need to bring the RET with that, or do I leave the RET? Transfer to Woody's RET. And the adjustable as well.
You can leave the RET. You'll stow it on your mini workstation, and Woody will use a RET from his mini workstation in order to tether to it.
Okay, so understand.
We can get ahead on our checks here. So a warning for both of you, do not release C1 until I give you the go.
Copy. Copy.
I'll take a glove inspection and hap check from Woody.
There's no change to the gloves. Hap is dry. I can also report visor down, glove heaters on, TCV set for reference.
Copy. Good glove inspection and hap check. Cooling, visor, glove heaters are set. Check gauntlets down.
They're both down.
Check tools and tethers are clear, and your ingress aid is clear.
Tools, tethers, and ingress aid all clear.
Check heels secure in the APFR.
Yeah, and James, did you guys happen to get eyes on my heels just for positive confirmation there? Or can Steve see them?
Checking. Woody, we do not have eyes on your feet, but Steve could potentially check if you need.
Hold on, it's going to take a bit to rotate here.
Okay, I'm feeling quite confident, so I
think you look pretty good, Woody. I think they're in.
Yeah, I agree. All right, heels are secure, James. Thanks.
Copy, Woody. Those are good checks. We will pause here.
Copy.
And, Benny, when I transfer, I am not transferring the adjustable to Woody, just the scoop and the long duration tie down feather, and I keep the adjustable with me to pick them up later, correct?
Checking, Steve.
I think it's just a scoop and a long duration.
I do too, but I want to make sure.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. So there's
the...
no requirement to take the adjustable with you. You can have it if you want, but we just need the scoop and the long duration tie-down tether bundled together and the ret swap to Woody's mini workstation.
Okay. Understand. And Woody, if you have a ret, I can give you...
I sure do. Here's a ret. I don't know if you can reach me. Oh, yeah, you can send that over here.
I got several things on there right now, so...
Okay. See it? So goal is to get this ret on the scoop?
Yeah.
Okay, it is on, so scoop...
Okay, you can release that adjustable then.
You got it.
Keep long duration.
Is coming back.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let me get that clipped on here. And I will get set up.
Copy. We have a couple of additional checks here as well. We need a glove inspection and HAP check from Steve and a buddy check of each other's helmets for signs of water.
You have your visor down. Yeah, Steve, your helmet?
Actually, stay right there, Steve. Okay, I have a good view into Steve's helmet. I can see his HAP and his HAP absorption band, and I see no signs of water.
I agree.
Copy.
Steve, I'll flip my visor up for you.
And I see no signs of water. I see your helmet absorption band and no indication of water. Looks good.
Great.
My gloves are the same. They're still good, and my HAP is dry.
Copy. We have good checks. And as a reminder, Woody, we track you holding that scoop at this time. It needs to be redded to you, but Steve needs to be holding it. He will be the one installing it after C1 release.
Yep, concur.
All right, let me go to the hold for area. Thank you.
Yep.
We are now about 1 hour and 27 minutes into today's spacewalk. Before Woody Hopeberg and Steve Bowen remove the final bolt holding the iROSA to the carrier, they're performing a series of glove and HAP checks.
EVA. You are both doing great on time. We are an hour up.
All right, copy that.
All right, great, James. Thanks.
All right, next as written, I have Steve releasing Charlie 1 fully. Woody, you are going to maintain control of iROSA as he releases that bolt and installs the scoop.
Okay, Jan, sounds good. I've got iROSA.
All right, I need settings.
Bravo 3, counter 3, fully release C1. The bolt will spring out. Expect 26 turns.
Bravo 3, counterclockwise 3, and about 26 turns, and bolt should spring out. All right, that's starting right now.
Good words.
You just heard the ground IV here in the room, Jenny Gibbons, speak with the NASA astronauts outside the space station, Woody Hopeberg and Steve Bowen. They were given the go to release the iROSA. So both crew members are now working to remove the final bolt holding the iROSA to the carrier. Bowen will then install a second scoop while Hopeberg lifts the iROSA off of its carrier.
All right. I've got 27 turns. To come off. I think I need to turn a few more, but not free of this bolt.
Copy. 27 turns,
So
going for more.
Turns. Right now, that seems very loose. I got an additional 10 turns. How does it feel, Woody?
Yeah, I think it feels, quite loose.
Okay. Just go with PGT and get the scoop in place.
Sounds great.
Good words.
All right, I have the scoop locked on, and I hope that's a good config, Woody.
That's great, Steve. I have IROSA.
You have IROSA.
Ground copies. We agree we're in a good config. Steve, we need you at the grapple tower to assist with this GCA. Make sure IROSA clears the grapple fixture. And I have cautions and a warning for both of you when ready.
All right, I am in a good position to watch clearances from the grapple fixture and ready for warnings.
Caution, prior to removing IROSA, ensure the FSE is not moving. Steve, you stay still on the FSE during the release. And warning, don't put your fingers in or around any of the pin slots mounted on the inside and outside of the root beam. With that, I will let you work together to release IROSA. To do that, Woody, you will be sliding IROSA away from you to release from the FSE pin slot interface.
Okay, James, I believe that has already happened.
I think so, too.
Copy.
I still have control of it. We're looking good.
All right.
Ready for GCA.
You're go to work with
Steve,
Frank?
over to you for GCA.
All right, Frank, if you're ready, I'm ready for the IROSA back-off position. I've got a good eye on the tower, and I'm looking for this to go straight. And Woody, it's drifting a little bit toward the tower. Going to bias it a little back. Okay, that's probably good. Ready to go, Frank.
Right, Steve, we copy, and for this motion, we expect about 4 meters, and for Woody, it's going to be body down.
Okay.
Great.
And we are starting motion.
You heard confirmation that NASA astronaut Steve Bowen has installed the second scoop onto the carrier, and Woody Hoberg has lifted it off of the carrier. There will now be several maneuvers with Hoberg on the robotic arm, and then he will arrive at the 1A mod kit worksite. During these maneuvers, Steve Bowen will pick up the temporarily stowed crew lock bag from the port cart and reconfigure both of his safety tethers on his way to meet Hoberg at the mod kit.
We are clear of the pin. Continue.
Continuing, we have 3 meters to go.
Continue.
We continue.
Houston copies. Since we are clear of the grapple tower, and this is a procedure to published position, I'm going to pick up comm with Steve. Steve, perform a socket swap. I need the 5/8 12-inch wobble on the socket caddy and the 2-inch from your trash bag on your PGT.
I understand the 5/8 going to the socket caddy, the 2-inch from my trash bag coming out of my PGT.
Good words. I'll take pull tests for everything, and then you will be cleaning up the crew lock bag with everything inside of it, doors facing the FSE.
Understand.
From this view, you can see NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg attached to the space station's robotic arm as he moves away with the International Space Station rollout solar array.
Have a meter to publish.
Continue.
Are we continuing? And ramping out.
Copy.
Okay, that is the public position, Woody, and just a heads up, our next motion is going to be the IROSA pitch join of all counts of 2.5 minutes.
Copy, Sultan, I'm ready.
Okay, Jenny, I have a good pull test on all 3 sockets on the socket caddy. I'm going to stow them in the crew lock bag first before I do my 2-inch.
I copy, Steve. You have completed the pull test, correct?
That is correct. And all 3 of the sockets on the socket caddy, that's complete.
Copy. Again, you can stow that socket caddy. We'll have the crew lock bag buttoned up with the doors facing the FSE and the adjustable equipment tether cinched.
Understand.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg continues to make his way on the robotic arm with the iROSA to the 1A mod kit worksite.
Okay, so on the outside of the crew lock bag, I should have the needle nose, the wire tie, and an adjustable. And then I need a small adjustable attached to the lower handrail. And then this rat should come with me if I'm reading this correctly. Is that correct? There should be no rat on the outside?
That ret can go into the bag, Steve.
Understand. I'll just put it in the bag.
On the left side of your screen, you can see the helmet camera of NASA astronaut Steve Bowen. He is currently working to pick up the temporarily stowed crew lock bag from the port cart and reconfigure both of his safety tethers on his way to meet Woody Hoberg at the mod kit. Once they both arrive at the mod kit site, both crew will then work to install the iROSA onto the 1A mounting bracket.
And we are ready for the iROSA pitch join OCAS, and we will give you a countdown before we start. And just remember the pitch maneuver.
Ron, that's perfect. I'm ready.
All right, then starting join OCAS in 3, 2, 1. Starting motion.
Okay, lower small cinch down. Okay, to the upper stanchion. And I've got the back facing the stanchion.
Copy, Steve. Great work. Once complete, you can translate off of the FSE via the POA.
All right. Setting off the... Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do my 2-inch transfer when I stop again. I still have the 2-inch in my trash bag. Didn't put it on the PGT yet.
We need that 2-inch on your PGT, Steve.
I understand. I'll get it when I stop.
Okay, that sounds great. You can do that at the mod kit.
I have to go pick up the bag and got Woody's tether.
A-firm, your first step once you are off of the FSE is to retrieve your green hook from 3011.
Okay. I'll do that then, right there.
Our next motion is going to be an outboard journal cast of 3 minutes.
Following that copy, and I'm ready.
Okay, we are starting motion for the journal cast for the EV outboard.
Okay, I'm ready. Another countdown would be great.
Copy, starting in 3, 2, 1.
Good motion.
Copy, good motion.
Currently on your screen, you can see NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg as he is on the space station's robotic arm, moving the International Space Station rollout solar array to the 1A mod kit worksite. Today's spacewalk is the 264th spacewalk in support of space station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades, and the 7th spacewalk out of the International Space Station for this year. Today's spacewalkers are NASA astronauts Steve Bowen and Woody Hoberg. They are working to install an IROSA, or International Space Station Rollout Solar Array. This will augment the power generation for the 1A power channel on the station's starboard truss structure. The new arrays, once unfurled, measure approximately 60 feet in length by 20 feet wide, and they shade a little more than half of the original arrays. Each new IROSA will produce more than 20 kilowatts of electricity, and once installed will enable a 30% increase in power production over the station's current arrays. This spacewalk is the 9th spacewalk for NASA astronaut Steve Bowen and the 1st spacewalk for NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg.
Copy. The 2-inch is installed on your PGT with a good pull test.
Just heads up, Woody, next motion is going to be an IA lineup for 4 hour and expecting 3 minutes.
Sultan, sounds great. I'm ready.
All right, green hook is retrieved.
Copy, Steve, you have your green hook. After this, you'll get the bag and Woody's green hook.
All right, picking up the bag and Woody's green hook.
Good words.
Okay, Woody, we are ready to start the motion, and this will put you in lineup position under the IEA.
All right, Sultan, I'm ready.
Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1. Start the motion.
Motion.
Copy, good motion.
Steve and Woody will be in installation in about 2 minutes.
Hey, my copy.
Thanks, James.
We are now about 1 hour and 48 minutes into today's spacewalk. We are actually about an hour ahead of the scheduled timeline. Once they arrive at the ModKit site, they will begin the process to install the iROSA onto the 1A mounting bracket.
On my BRT and releasing it from the SCADA code.
Copy, Steve.
During the installation process for the International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, the crew will release the scoops, and Woody Hoberg will then move into position to release the final bolt holding iROSA into its folded position. Once released, Woody Hoberg will hold iROSA closed. Once released, Steve Bowen will hold iROSA closed while Woody Hoberg egresses or exits his foot restraint and gets into position. Both crew will then work together to unfold iROSA and secure the right side onto the mounting bracket. Once secured, Woody Hoberg will then drive 2 hinge bolts that iROSA into the unfolded position.
Bag is stowed. Going to retrieve Woody's.
Copy, Steve. Woody's green hook is at around mile marker 6300.
6300. Okay.
Affirm, it'll be on 6360 exactly.
Heading back that way. See his green hook.
Copy.
And Woody, we are ready. For you go for the GCA to publish AROSA install.
Sultan, I'm ready. I see body left.
That's affirmative. We are expecting a first motion of body left, and it's going to be 2 meters, 40 centimeters, and then followed by a body up, and that is 70 centimeters.
Okay, sounds great, Sultan. I'm ready.
Okay, I have Woody's green reel on my right waist tether. Now I'm going to translate out to F4.
Copy, Steve, and I might have missed it, but I need to check that reels are unlocked and your gauntlets are down.
All right, reel is unlocked. Gauntlets are down. I'm going to start my translation.
Copy. Like you said, you're headed to the S4 IEA. I have words on where to attach Woody's green hook when you're ready.
All right, I'll give you a call in a minute.
And Woody, we are ready to start motion body left in 3, 2, 1.
On the big loop, for all crew, do not start this next motion. Stand by 1 while we sync up on the ground.
Copy, rounding out, and then standing by.
That was good motion, Sultan. Start hold position now.
Copy, hold.
More information for all of you on that call. Everything is looking like it's in good shape. You guys are doing great on the timeline. Since we are ahead, we want to hold and get all crew in position. That means we'll have time for Steve to drop the green hooks and get in a good position by the mounting bracket before we go to the install position. From there, we will push with the procedure as written.
Soldier Woody, be waiting on me.
You're doing great, Steve. Thanks for doing all the work while I just ride the arm.
And IV crew, copy.
All right. Great job, everybody.
From this view, you can see both astronauts working on today's spacewalk. In the upper right-hand side of your screen, you see NASA astronaut Steve Bowen as he works to configure some safety tethers and work his way over to the ModKit site to meet Woody Hoburg. And then a little bit further down is NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg aboard the International Space Station's robotic arm, holding on to the International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, or IROSA, as he makes his way to the ModKit site.
All right, I get my bearings here.
Copy, Steve.
All right, give me 1 second.
You're looking for hand
So I'm looking for which handle number for his screen.
2219.
And I'm ready to 3219. I'm ready to drop this hook here. Give me a moment.
Copy. And you'll be fair leading Woody's tether around the outside edge of the IEA.
The outside edge of the IEA for his fair lead. Copy.
Good words.
And Steve, just for awareness, I'm right behind you and a little to the left.
All right. your green hook is now on 2219. And I release my base tether.
Copy. Good words, Steve.
Coming back, and it looks clear of my tether.
Good words. And confirm the reel is unlocked.
And his reel is, see a big U, unlocked.
Good config, Steve. You can continue on your translation path. Your next step is to drop your green hook, handrail 2218.
2218, heading down to 2218. All right, I'll be dropping my green hook here at 2218.
Good words.
Yeah, green hook is on 2218.
Copy. Green hook 2218. Check your tethers are clear, and you're good to continue.
Checking my tethers.
Steve, I've got a good view. It looks great.
All right, that's good to hear. Check my worst tether here. Don't mind for a second, we're going to get this untangled from my PG gate.
Absolutely.
Copy.
Do you have much of a view? All right, I see my tether clear now.
Copy, Steve. I have a caution.
To be clear, I meant the... Go ahead, James.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Your caution is avoid translation on the PVR handrail near 2230.
2230.
Steve, you'll continue your translation to the left side of the mounting bracket. Check your tether routing for snags and crosses, and place fair leads such that your tether is running around the perimeter of the IEA.
Okay, I'm going to get myself in a config here. Okay. I'm looking for a fair lead on the corner, I guess. 235.
I have your fair lead handrail written as 2248. But 235 is fine, Steve. It will do the same thing.
Okay. We'll be right in the same spot.
Copy. That sounds good. We are 45 seconds from a short handover.
Okay, translating up to the lower mountain.
Copy, Steve. And once you are in a good spot, you can resume this motion for the iROSA install position.
All right, let me drop my bag off real quick. Actually, where are you, Woody? Oh, there you are. There I am. Give me 1 second to get stable. Woody?
All right, sounds great. Over to Frank and Sultan. Ready to continue.
Okay, copy. Ready to continue, Woody. And again, this is going to be a continuation of the body left. And we'll give you a countdown here in 3, 2, 1. Starting motion.
Good motion.
And copy the motion. Already 2 meters to go.
Continue.
We continue. Meter to go.
Continue.
We continue. Half a meter to go.
Continue.
Copy, continue. I'm ramping out body left motion.
Okay. That looks good.
Right, ready to start the body up motion.
Stay firm. Ready for body up.
Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1.
Good motion.
Copy, good motion. Half a meter to go.
Continue.
We continue.
Let's hold position there.
Hold position.
Feels a little high, actually. I think.
Feels a little high and a little short. You need to come toward me another 40 centimeters.
I see that, Steve.
And you are still a little high.
Yeah, Sultan, could I come? Stand by checking.
You got to take the scoop off when you get closer up, though.
Actually, this feels pretty good, Sultan. Can we just go body in? Like 20 centimeters?
Woody will give you that body in 20 centimeters. Starting motion in 3,
Can you take your hands off, Steve?
2.
All right, here you go. Continue.
Okay, starting motion in 3, 2, 1.
Motion.
I agree.
Okay, good.
You are hearing conversation between NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg and Sultan Al-Niyadi, who is a UAE astronaut inside the space station operating the space station's robotic arm.
I'm ready to take the scoop off.
All right, the soft docks are set. They have not been cycled, but they were cycled just a little bit ago.
Houston's back with you.
That looks great.
We see that the soft captures are in a good position. We do not need to cycle them. Steve, hold iROSA steady while Woody removes the scoop. And I have some cautions and warnings I need to read. Warning, when you're on the aft side of the mod kit, Steve, avoid contacting the legacy blanket boxes and trunnions. Caution, while you're both on the mod kit, don't simultaneously impart loads. Sudden stops and quick grabs are not allowed on the mod kit. 30-pound max lateral load on the mod kit. And finally, confirm no BGA motion prior to installing iROSA.
Copy all.
Copy all. Sounds great, James. Thank you.
And Stephen Woody, just to confirm that you don't need any further GCA, and we'll call it complete.
Okay, GCA complete.
Can you give me 20 centimeters toward the mass canister? What do you have enough for that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. GCA complete. I agree.
All right, GCA complete, and brakes are coming on.
Copy, brakes on.
Houston copies. Brakes are on. You can work together for install.
just go slow, Steve.
Yep, I agree. Went real slow this way.
Yep.
Moving my perch here.
Okay.
Want to push toward the mass canister. Okay, I see them starting to get in. Oh, they can continue toward the mass canister.
Running up into something. Let's see. Get eyes on it.
Both of our spacewalkers have made their way to the 1A mod kit work site. From here, the crew will work together to install the IROSA, or International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, onto the 1A mounting bracket.
Are we aligned with the slots?
We are in the slots. We are just waiting to continue to the left. How does the soft dock look on your side?
They're still popped out. Do they just need to be pushed down?
Yeah, they should be fine. Should come right through. All right, if you can still come toward the mass canister, that's all we need.
I'm running up against something when I try to push that direction.
Okay. If you push your side, I'll hold mine.
Let me just look at it real quick.
Okay.
Steve, your HECA might be contacting IROSA and preventing the soft dock. You might have to adjust your body position.
Oh, I understand. Okay, working on that. Yeah, let's try that, Woody.
Pushing hard left. And it's just...
How does the soft dock look?
You know what, I think we need to pull up on the soft docks. Maybe to let it pass. See if I can get that. Oh yeah, that's the problem.
All right, let me get this one.
Okay, I think I'm in on my side.
And let's try to get that.
That's good, Steve.
All right,
okay, my side's in, soft dock, or soft capture pin went in.
Mine is not in, I don't think.
Really close. You might be in the detent, so try popping it out of the little detent. Yeah, turn it a little. Yep, and now in.
Let me look.
Yeah, I think it's just in the little lip that holds the pin. I think we're in the right position with IROSA. And you're...
Okay, I'm just going to get this outside real quick.
Yep. Try me into your right.
Yeah, I see. I'm hitting it. All right, let me try and get down here.
There you go. Nice.
20 seconds to a short handover.
Copy, James. It needs to turn clockwise from above.
Clockwise from above.
Other way?
Other way.
Yep. Now it should go in.
We are in a brief but expected handover period. We'll receive camera views from the space station in about 10 seconds.
I'm try and get her better.
Houston's back with you.
How to get there.
Okay, so Jenny, just to describe what we're seeing, we believe IROSA is in a good position. The centermost...
I got it.
Okay, so you just
got it. A little bit more.
Got 2 pins in.
Yeah, we agree. We have a really good view from your HECA, Woody. So good job at this point. IROSA is soft docked, so you can release your RET from the scoop and maneuver to the R6 backoff. Steve, for you, you're finalizing the config for the crew lock bag, and you will eventually receive the scoop bundle from Woody when he's ready.
Any chance you can pass me a threat when you get a chance?
Sure, give me 1 second.
Thank you.
For both of you, we are just over 2 hours into an EVA tracking for 7 hours and 30 minutes. Limiting consumable is battery on Woody, and you guys are still about an hour ahead on the timeline. Well done.
Thanks, James.
You got a way to give you the route?
Okay. If now's not a good time, we can wait.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me drop off the bag, and then it'll...
Well, here, can you reach this?
Oh, yeah, that might work.
Scoop coming at you.
The crew is now working to release the scoops. And then Woody Hoberg will move into position to release the final bolt, holding IROSA in its bolted position.
Maneuver for that. Let us know what you need.
Yep, sounds great. I'll be, oh, actually, I bet I can just do that. Let me take a look at that.
If you have the position, you're go, Woody.
The settings, James. Okay.
Bravo 2, counter 2.
Copy your bolts. Another scoop on long duration.
Yeah, you should have 2 scoops there, Steve.
Okay, you ready to get your rep back? I'll give it to you.
Let me know when you... Yeah, go ahead.
Here it comes. Got it?
Super. Yep, I got it.
All right, let me get those 2.
Steve, once you temp stow these scoops and the long duration, they can just be temp stow for now, but that's up to you. At the crew lock bag, we'll need you to position to hold IROSA in a folded config while Woody does this bolt and then egresses the APFR.
Let me get the bag in place, and then I'll be pretty much set to do that.
Bravo 2, counter 2 set, James.
Copy. Those are good settings. You'll be releasing R6. The bolt will spring out when fully released. You'll see a white line indicator. Expect 18 to 20 turns.
Wait 1 second.
You want me to wait?
Yeah, because I'm not in a place.
I gotcha. I'm in a great place to control it, though, Steve.
All right. Well, if you want to stay there, then that's fine. I just got to put this bag in place and clean up.
That's great.
Release that.
Okay, Johnny. 15 turns, and we got the white line visible. Hinge bolt is released.
Copy. R6 released. 16 turns. You see the white line. You can store your PGT.
Complete. And Frank and Sultan, for your awareness, I suspect my plan will be to hop out of the arm here eventually.
No, Woody will copy.
All right, I have the bag to the handrail and the scoops to the bag.
Nice job, Steve.
And I get the bag off my VRT.
Okay.
Copy, Steve.
Do those scoops go in the bag?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
They do eventually, but in the procedure, that'll be around the time when you retrieve the AMS knob. It's just crew preference. You can temp stow them for now if you want.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
For you and for Steve and Woody, we copy, Woody, that you think you can egress from here. That's no problem with us, and we're coordinating with Robo and the IV team. Steve, we see you getting in position to hold iRosa folded. We'll need you to do that while Woody egress is using only the ingress aid.
All right, let me get my hand on the other handrail. I guess it's an hold on to.
Yeah, take your time, Steve. Just watch your helmet is hitting the other side of iRosa. Yeah.
All right, let me get my feet up then. I'll do that.
Got tons of time.
NASA astronauts Woody Hoberg and Steve Bowen just worked to release the final bolt holding iRosa, or the ISS rollout solar array, in its folded position. From here, Steve Bowen will continue to hold iRosa closed while Woody Hoberg egresses or exits his foot restraint and gets into position.
Yeah, we saw that. Thanks, Woody.
After that, the crew will work together to unfold iRosa and secure the right side onto the mounting bracket.
1 second to figure out what to hold on to.
Absolutely,
All right,
Steve.
I think what I'm going to do is this. Okay, I think I get my body around here. All right, what do you think? I'm good.
Okay, just so you know, your HECA is like touching iRosa, but as long as you're not pressuring it, it should be. Yep. Looks like it's just light, so
yep.
Should be a good config. All right, Steve, you've got it.
I have it.
Okay.
For your awareness, we see that contact. It's on the root beam, and ground's fine with it. So you two are doing a great job. Woody, you can egress using only the ingress aid.
Gotcha. Only the ingress aid. My feet are out.
Copy. You can check the ingress aid is low profile.
Actually, that is going to be interesting. Let's see.
To get on the stanchion, you might have GCA just to get to that.
I might need a GCA just to stow the ingress aid, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Take a look here real quick.
And Woody, we copy and we're standing by.
Okay, thanks for phone. Actually, I got it, so disregard.
Ground copies all.
From this view, you can see that Woody Hoberg has egressed the foot restraint from the robotic arm.
All right. Steve, I am in a, let's see, get my eyes on this soft dock. Yeah, I'm in a good position.
You want to cycle it? I keep holding it to make sure it's free.
I want to think about my safety tether, so...
Yeah.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is now moving into position to unfold iRosa to help secure it to the right side of the mounting bracket alongside NASA astronaut Steve Bowen.
We might have to just have them move to that position.
Yeah, we might need that.
And as soon as it's clear, we can open this.
Yep, I agree with that. James, is that making sense to you guys too?
Woody and Steve, we've been talking about the arm position and your tether here on the ground, and we think it's best if we maneuver to the tether swap position.
Yep. That makes sense to us too, James. We like it.
All right, you can initiate that with
Woody and Steve.
You can initiate that with M1. Once you do that, since that's a published position, I have some big picture words for you because we need to pause anyway before you put in a fair lead, Woody. But you can go ahead and coordinate with M1 for now.
Okay, great. Son, we're ready for you to move to the published other swap position.
Okay, Woody, we copy. This will take us 3 maneuvers to get to that position, and we'll let you know when we're there.
All right, sounds great, Sultan. I'll be watching while the arm's near us.
We'll be starting with the backup position, and we're expecting about 2 meters, like in your body was body right.
Okay, yeah, body right looks correct. That sounds great.
Okay, brakes are coming off.
Woody and Steve, we're just getting those big picture words together for you. We have another couple minutes, and then I'll have them.
Thanks, James. Sounds good. Bring on the tether to get clear.
All right, I have.
Okay, Woody, we start in motion now.
Go.
I have those big picture words for you. Let's let M1 start the next motion, and then I'll pass them. All right, I understand M1's already maneuvering to the backup position. So you guys ready?
Yep, good motion. Ready.
All right, big picture. You are doing great. We have a really good timeline laid out in front of us. So good, in fact, that there is a potential that the next eclipse could be our working eclipse for our cable mates. That's in around 25 minutes. So we might break out of bolts and take that opportunity while we have it, and I'll keep you both up to date on that. There is no rush because, again, our nominally planned eclipse was the following one. How copy?
Did you want copies?
You do 2 copies. That sounds great, James.
It does.
All right, good. Next piece of information I have for you is that we have noticed that a grounding pin is out of place on the mod kit. It's at the base of the mounting bracket, where the mounting bracket meets the left lower strut. After the unfold, we're going to have to address that grounding pin. It should be no problem, but I will let you know, and I'll give you those words again when the time is right.
Okay.
And just to be clear, that's on Steve's side, and we don't want him to check it now.
Yep. Nope, I'm not going anywhere. I can't let go.
We agree. Please keep hanging on. All right. That's.
Jesus. Hard to be some light.
Those are all the big picture words that I have for both of you. We will pick up after these robo maneuvers with a fair lead for Woody, and then start to work toward unfolding IROSA. Your warning is that this is a pinch point, and you'll need to keep clear of rotating IROSA.
Copy.
Where's your fair lead? Is that straight
Yeah.
down?
I was wondering that too.
Because you might be able to head that way, and then when he gets a little lower, just drop it.
Your fair lead is going to be on the right lower strut, lower handrail, Woody.
Right, lower strut, lower handrail. Got it.
That means once we'll be able to have a good assessment of when this will be clear, then.
And Woody, you need to hold. The reason why we're waiting is because we cannot put this fair lead in while the arm's moving.
Yeah, I understand, James. I was just checking out the location. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Okay, Woody and Steve, we are starting. Our next motion is going to be a journal cast, and it will be 2.5 minutes.
Okay, we copy.
There we go.
Starting motion.
Stable, Woody, you could take some pictures of our dragon.
That's a good idea. Stand by.
We are about 2 hours and 27 minutes into today's spacewalk as NASA astronauts Steve Bowen and Woody Hoburg continue to install the International Space Station rollout solar array onto the 1A starboard truss. They are about an hour ahead on their scheduled timeline and now targeting a working eclipse about 21 minutes from now for the cable mating.
Oh, and since you have your visor down, take a selfie, you'll get the whole, pretty good chunk of station.
The cable mating is when both of the crew members will work to electrically connect the new IROSA to the International Space Station's power system. They'll first attach 4 connectors to IROSA, and then both will move to either side of the legacy solar array to disconnect the old array and connect a Y cable. This will allow power to flow from both the new IROSA and the old legacy array to the space station's power system.
Woody, when able, power on your HECA. It's been powered off again.
Green light, that's good.
Complete, James. Thanks.
Copy all. Thank you.
What is the arm even moving? From my perspective, it's not moving.
Yeah, I concur. I think they're setting up for the Joe cast.
Okay.
And Woody, we are starting our next journal cast. It will last 3 minutes, and then we'll sync up with you, and it's going to be step in here to meet with you and for the tether swap.
Okay, continue. Sultan, we're ready.
Okay, starting motion for the journal cast.
Motion.
Copy, motion.
From this view, you can see NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg near the IROSA, or International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, and the robotic arm is currently backing away.
Let's see, Jenny, if I happen to have a cap keeper in my hand, would it be a good to remove the J1 through J4 caps?
You can do that, Woody.
Okay, copy, thanks.
On the other side of the folded IROSA is NASA astronaut Steve Bowen. Steve Bowen is continuing to hold the IROSA closed.
And there's your tool.
Yes.
A good hook.
What's that?
That's a good hook. A good release.
Thanks, Steve.
You are seeing the helmet camera of NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg as he configures some of his safety tethers. Once his safety tethers are reconfigured, the crew members will work together to unfold IROSA, or the International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, and secure the right side onto the mounting bracket.
Hey, firm.
Good. L4 cooler
I agree. I just grab the AMS knob while I've got it.
Probably a good idea.
Houston copies.
We'll do the NZGL maps too.
Yeah, let me look at that. Stand by. And AMS knob's routed to my MIDI workstation.
Sounds good.
And J1 through J4 caps removed, Johnny. They're in crew lock bag M.
We copy, Woody.
Want the scoops in, Steve, too?
Yeah, if you can put them in, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Of course. We have an integral ret for them, right?
Yeah, there should be a ret available for that. That was the one that you left. Yep.
Yep, here it is. Want the adjustable external?
I don't think we need an external.
Okay. Let's put that in the bag.
Okay, do we need the external for the adjustable? Are we going to use that later on to grab anything else?
On crew lock bag M.
On crew lock bag M?
No, we won't need that. You can stow that inside the bag.
Okay.
For both of your awareness, a couple more minutes here, and then we'll be able to get moving again. Do a good job getting a little bit ahead on the crew lock bag.
Perfect.
Woody, I'm not sure if you heard the area call, but we are set up and ready for maneuver to telescope position.
Okay, sounds great, Sultan. You are go.
Okay, copy, go.
Since this is a published position, Woody, you also have an option of assisting keeping iROSA in a closed configuration, so stopping it from unfolding while Steve, addresses that loose grounding pin.
That sounds like a great idea, Jams. Let me get in position, and then we can do exactly that.
I just need to push on that side there, so.
We're starting motion now.
Copy, Sultan. Okay, Steve. I've got Irosa.
All right, then I head down to the grounding pin.
Enjoy.
Oh, I can bend my arms again. Oh, good.
We're glad to hear it, Steve. You should be able to see a little receiving area for the pin. It should be near where the pin is loose. You just need to reinstall it.
All right, heading down to the base of tidbit strut. Base of the strut. Let's see.
You should not have to translate far, Steve. You should be in a good spot to see it.
All right, where is it?
It is at the base of the mounting bracket itself, where it meets the left strut.
Where it meets the left strut. All right, so I see these two pins here. Another one?
Yep, there is another one that is not installed.
Oh, that's it. Not in.
Yes, the second one that you touched is not in, so we need you to reinstall that.
This one here.
That's right. Thanks, Steve.
Give you 1 second. All right, I think that's in. Good pull.
All right, great job, Steve. We are good to continue with the procedure. We understand the arm is in its final position. So, Steve, we need you to hold Irosa in a closed configuration, and Woody, you can place that for your lead.
All right, give me 1 second to get my hook back in place. All right, thanks for the break, Woody. I've got it now. I have the Irosa.
Copy, you've got it.
Big picture call for all crew. We are headed into a region of spotty calm, followed by an LOS. That total time is 6 minutes. You are go to continue with Irosa unfold. Frank, we are in block 9, step 2627. Frank, you are prime IV.
Jams, we copy block 9, step 2627. We are go to continue with unfold. We are prime.
Affirm. Once you have completed with the unfold, we will have you move to the cable mate block. That is block 10.
With the space station's robotic arm backed away and in a safe configuration, the crew will now proceed with unfolding the Irosa.
Good words.
We are in a brief but expected handover period, and we'll get views of the space station back shortly. The first working eclipse is about 3.5 minutes away from now, and that is the first targeted window to mate the cables. So after they unfold the Irosa, they will move ahead to that step.
Okay, now it's starting to clear your PGT. You're almost there. There you go, you're clear. What's it?
Copy, Steve, thanks. Air lead installed. Let me just take a quick look at my tethers.
Absolutely.
And then we'll get into unfold. Okay. One more thing to fix, and then I'll be ready, Steve.
Frank, this is ground. We're coming up on that LOS. When you get there, we will need you to confirm safing for the working eclipse.
And Jenny, we copy. We will need to confirm safety, and that'll be 2 minutes.
Good words.
Okay, Steve.
All right. I think we're ready, Frank.
Okay, guys, this is going to be a warning for you both. There's a pinch point, so keep clear of the rotating iROSA. And Steve, verify that, or Woody, verify that you've cycled the right soft capture feature.
I'll go ahead and do that right now.
Okay, thanks, Woody. And then just make sure that you leave it in the soft capture feature down position.
Yep, that's good, Frank.
Okay, then again, keeping in mind the pinch point, Steve, go ahead and slowly pivot iROSA to unfolded. Woody, engage the right side alignment guide and slot.
Okay, get around this turn-in channel.
You can hear conversation between NASA astronaut Frank Rubio, who is on board the space station and currently serving as the prime IV, or communication link between the spacewalkers.
All right, nice job, guys. And so Woody, then go ahead and verify the soft capture feature is properly engaged.
So I have control, and we're still rotating. Thanks, Frank.
Today's spacewalkers are NASA astronauts Steve Bowen and Woody Hoberg, and they are currently working to unfold the iROSA, or International Space Station Rollout Solar Array. Once it is unfolded, they will verify soft capture is properly engaged, and then they will perform some glove inspections and hap checks before moving on to cable mating.
Soft capture engaged, Frank.
Okay, great job, guys. I need you both to perform a glove, hap, and gauntlet check, and then we'll start moving towards our cable mating positions.
Okay, Frank. EV1 has no change to gloves, dry hap, and gauntlets down.
Yep, I agree. EV1 does have.
Sorry, Steve. EV2.
Gloves, dry
Sorry.
hap, and gauntlets are down. That's correct, EVA.
The first working eclipse window has started, and there's about 30 minutes for them to complete the cable mating process.
Position for R8 and R7 there, Frank.
Okay, copy that. Good job, guys. And just to let you know, at this point, the hardware meets minimum structural config for mating cables.
Actually, yeah, so why don't we get into that?
While we're here.
Yeah,
That's where you guys are headed.
Say again, Steve?
Never mind, I got them.
All right, so, Frank, we have the caps, the MVGL caps. We're ready to demate those on your go.
Okay, you can demate the MVGL caps from P1, P2, P3, and P4.
In work.
That's in order.
EV and IV crew, Houston, our last little bit of comm here. We can confirm our safing is in place and we are in our eclipse condition, so you are go for the eclipse required cables.
Copy, go. Thanks, Jams. And do you guys have a time for when our window ends?
You have 28 minutes. We'll be back with you by then, and as an additional reminder, you'll need to complete the NZGLs before you move to the Eclipse required cables.
Any electric?
Say again, Steve.
Copy, Jams, and we are decapping the NZGA caps now.
These are pretty sticky.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, once you have the caps off,
Not even close.
Steve, you're going to be mating
Stand by,
P1
Frank.
and P2 to J1 and J2.
Stand by, Frank.
Still haven't getting the caps off.
Both Woody Hoberg and Steve Bowen are now working to electrically connect the new IROSA or ISS rollout solar array to the space station's power system.
Yep, no, I understand. Those things can be a bear.
Okay, I think I got one. What's the trick? Got the lever. I still don't have the cap off. Okay, got one. Wow.
As they work through the cable mating process, they'll first attach 4 connectors to the IROSA, and then both of them will move to either side of the legacy array to disconnect the old array and connect a Y cable. This will allow power to flow from both the new IROSA and the old legacy array to the space station's power system. We are about 2 hours and 53 minutes into today's spacewalk, and we are about 6 minutes away from getting signal back from the space station. Today's spacewalk officially started at 8:25 a.m. Central Time, 9:25 a.m. Eastern Time, when the spacewalkers switched their spacesuits to battery power. Steve Bowen, who is EV1 with red stripes, egressed the crew lock first and received a crew lock bag and put it on his body restraint tether. He was then followed shortly by EV2, or Woody Hoberg, who is in the unmarked suit. They then translated up the forward face of the truss and went starboard. Steve Bowen stopped to configure his safety tethers, and then Woody Hoberg followed a similar path, going to the port crew equipment translation aid cart and retrieved an articulating portable foot restraint. Bowen then translated to the IROSA carrier and retrieved his pistol grip tool and began preparing IROSA for removal from the carrier. Hoberg installed the foot restraint on the space station's robotic arm, ingressed the restraint, and then the arm moved him away from the truss. Both Bowen and Hoberg then worked to release a series of bolts, both restraint bolts and anti-rotation devices. Once those bolts were released, they installed the first of 2 handling aids called scoops in preparation for removing IROSA from the carrier. Once they installed the second scoop, Hoberg lifted the IROSA off of its carrier, and then after several maneuvers on the robotic arm, he arrived at the 1A mod kit worksite. During these robotic arm maneuvers, Bowen worked to make his way over to the mod kit site, where they met to install the IROSA onto the 1A mounting bracket. More recently, the crew unfolded the IROSA and are now working to mate the cables. Once the crew members finish electrically connecting the new iRosa to the space station's power system, they will work to drive some hinge bolts. These bolts will help to fully secure iRosa to the mounting bracket before unfurling it. Here in the room, we have Flight Director Diane Daly, who you can see in the middle of your screen. And next to her is the Prime Ground IV, Jenny Gibbons. Also in the room, we have our EVA Flight Controller, who is Megan Shudica today.
From Papa Susu.
Good words, Woody. And Steve, you're going to be disconnecting SAW Papa 7 from panel Papa 7 and SAW Papa 21 from panel Papa 21.
All right, the P7 and P21, two lower.
Houston's back with you
panel.
with a correction.
Okay.
Copy.
Go ahead, James.
All right, great job, you guys. We had some spotty shot SS there, so we could hear you. You did a great job. We just want to confirm you're doing each cable one at a time. I don't mind which one you start with. Just tell me which one you're going to start with, but only demate one cable from the panel at a time.
Okay. Ready to go? You go, Woody?
I'm ready. Standing by.
All right. I'm going to do P21 first.
Okay. Go, Steve.
Frank, you ready for me to take back over?
Copy, James. You are prime.
Got it. I'm Prime IV. Great job. All right. I copy. You're ready.
P21 is disconnected.
That's P21 disconnected from panel P21.
I agree. That is true.
All right. Mate P21 alpha to panel P21. I need FOD, pins, EMI check, and the connector needs to be to hard stop.
Okay. P21 alpha is in my hand. And
I'm standing by, James.
Woody, you have a go to continue. We just need one cable on each side at a time. It's clarification for you. So tell me if you want to start with P9 or P23.
Okay, I've got panel P9 demating.
Your go.
That's demated.
Mate P9 alpha to panel P9. I need FOD, pins, EMI check, and the connector to hard stop.
Copy, James. Okay. P9 alpha to panel P9. no bent pins, no FOD, good EMI band.
Copy, good checks, your go.
All right, P21 Alpha is made to P21 panel. That was good EMI band, no FOD, good pins.
Copy, good mate. Steve, confirm the connector is to hard stop.
And the connector is to hard stop.
Great work. You can move on to J21 Alpha, mated to SAW cable P21.
All right, that's in work.
And Jams, I have P9 to panel hard stop.
Copy, that's a good mate. Woody, you can move on to J9 Alpha, mated to SAW cable P9.
J9 Alpha, SAW cable P9. I have no bent pins, no FOD, and good EMI band.
All right, I have
Go, Woody.
P21 to J21 Alpha with good pins, no FOD, and good EMI band, and that's connected.
Copy, Steve. That is a good mate. You can move on to disconnecting SAW cable P7 from panel P7.
All right, SAW cable P7 from sector P7.
You can now see live views of NASA astronaut Steve Bowen working to mate and demate some cables on the IROSA.
Okay, Jams. P9 to J9 Alpha connector, or shot connector hard stop. Ready for panel P23.
Good words, Woody. Move on to disconnecting SAW cable P23 from panel P23.
Mated, no bent pins.
All right, 7 demated, no bent pins, no FOD. Installing P7 Alpha.
Copy, Steve, and copy your checks. A firm mate P7 Alpha to panel P7.
Jams, I have P23 Alpha mated to panel P23, no FOD, no bent pins, good EMI band.
Copy, confirm it's to connector hard stop.
A firm.
Connect J23 Alpha to SAW cable P23.
Work. SAW cable P23 to J23 Alpha, no bent pins, no FOD, good EMI band, in-cap connector hard stop.
Copy, Woody. That is a good mate, and I track that that is your last connection for this side. Verify the connector config is as expected and clean up the remaining cable slack as required.
Okay, that's in work. Thanks, Jams.
All right, now I worked on getting this one aligned.
Copy, Steve. And Woody, we were tracking that your hand did touch a connector P24. We just want to make sure that that is still to hard stop.
Good catch, and you are correct. It moved, but it's back at hard stop. And I'm going to check P10 while I'm... I can confirm all 4 panel connector parts.
Copy, Woody. We agree. Woody and Steve, you're both doing great. We have over 12 minutes left of this working eclipse.
Hey, Jams, I think the cables on the right side are looking to be in a good config. Got 1 wire tie located. Keep them secure.
We agree.
All right, finally, P7 Alpha made it to P7.
Great job. Steve, you can move on
Good
to...
hard stop.
Copy to hard stop. You can move on to connecting J7 Alpha to SAW cable P7.
And that didn't work.
Woody, we agree your worksite is in a good config. We will have a glove inspection, hap check, and gauntlet check for you before you translate to R7 and 8.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen is currently working to connect the last cable. Once it is connected, he will verify that all the connectors are configured as expected and clean up any remaining cable slack.
I got what is this? J7 Alpha made it to P7. No bent pins, no FOD, and to a hard stop.
Copy. Excellent work, Steve. That is a good mate. You can verify that your connector config is as expected and clean up any remaining cable slack.
All right, I see. I'll watch the hard stop, and I'm not sure how bad this is. Do you want this flush against the
Checking.
I think it looks not too bad. Let me put this on the handrail, will be good.
We're taking a look, and it looks like you're in a good config, Steve. We're happy with that.
Thank you.
Jams, no change to gloves. Hi-hat.
Copy, Woody, and you cut out there. Did you say gauntlets down?
Hey, firm. Gauntlets down.
Copy. Good checks from Woody.
All right, I think that's going to do it.
Woody, you can translate to the hinge bolts.
Copy, Jams. Thanks.
A caution for you, Woody. You should avoid contact with the cables and NZGL connectors, which are now attached to iROSA. I know it's tricky at this work site. You can hold on to the bolt canisters that are on either side of the NZGL connectors.
Okay, great. Yep, I see those. And copy all, Jams.
Steve, again, we're happy with your work site. This is the end of our eclipse requirements for this EVA, so great work to both of you. I need a glove inspection, hap check, and gauntlet check from Steve.
Okay, let me fly out past the cables back to the front of the...
All of the cables have been successfully connected. This will now allow power to flow from both the new iROSA and the old legacy array to the space station's power system.
Okay, jams. Settings.
Alpha 1, clockwise 2. Steve, your job at this time is to provide extra stability to Woody because he might not have much to hold on to when he drives these bolts.
Hold on to me, Woody. I can hold on to you.
Yeah, I copy, Steve.
Tell me if you need it.
Let's see how we're doing here. Yep.
All right.
Alpha 1, clockwise 2 is set.
Good settings. Drive the hinge bolts 14 to 17 turns to hard stop.
14 to...
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is now working to drive 2 hinge bolts into iROSA while it's in the unfolded position. The crew will then work together to drive 8 bolts to fully secure iROSA to the mounting bracket.
I got 17 and a half turns, green light, 2.4 foot-pounds on R7.
Copy R7, 17 and a half turns, green light, 2.4 on the torque. Copy.
Driving R8.
Here you go.
Woody Hoberg is now driving the second of the 2 hinge bolts, and then Steve Bowen will work to drive the 8 bolts to fully secure iROSA to the mounting bracket.
Could you just confirm?
Once that's complete, Steve Bowen will move to a deployment viewing position, and Woody Hoberg will release the final 2 bolts holding iROSA in an undeployed position, and then iROSA will deploy over the next 6 to 10 minutes.
And jams R8. 17.25 turns and 2.3 foot-pounds green light.
17.25 turns, 2.3 on the torque, and a green light. That is a good R8. We have a go for you to use the AMS knob as a delta to the procedure as requested. So at this time you can stow your PGT, and we will have you loosen each hinge bolt 1 turn, and then finger tight less than 1 turn on R7 and R8.
Okay, jams, understand all. Work.
Woody, after this is complete, or excuse me, Steve, after this is complete, you will be stowing the AMS knob in the crew lock bag.
Got it right here, Steve.
Yeah, let's just get a rep for you.
I'll hand it to you. There you go.
I'll hand you your rep back.
And I have my rep, thanks. All right, jams. R7, R8, finger tight.
Copy, Woody. We are happy with that. Your next step is to complete your tether swap, so we will have you translate back inboard to the arm. You might have to GCA from the tether swap position if it's required. I'll let you work with Frank and Sultan for that. Steve, you are going to drive M-bolts on the bottom of the mounting bracket.
All right, let me install the AMS knob, and then I'll ready to do that.
And James, I copy all. I'll be picking up my spare lead and going back for tether swap.
Good words.
All right, AMS, throw it back on the capkeeper.
Copy, Steve. For Steve and Woody.
James, just verifying there's no preferred order on the M-bolts, correct?
No preferred order. You can start with whichever one you want first. Let me know when you want settings.
Okay, give me 1 second.
And Steve, for your awareness, we are tracking that M34 had one turn hand started on it. If you started any other bolts, just let us know.
All right, and so the first one is M21, is that correct? Right underneath the stanchion?
31.
M31? Yeah, so I started that here as well with one turn.
And James, I started a few as well, so Steve can call them out.
I'll call them. I can see which ones they are.
Yeah.
Okay, that works well for us.
All right.
I copy the M31 already has one turn on it. Steve, your settings are Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
Bravo 5, clockwise 2. Going to do a quick cow. Oh. Quick the cow passed. Good lights. And 39.9 volts. And so you got the settings again, Jenny?
Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
Yeah, Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
You'll be driving these bolts such that the black line is flush. It'll be to torque. Expect 11 to 14 turns.
Like 11, 14 turns flush and 2 torque.
Good words.
Right.
For both of you, we are 3 hours and 20 minutes into this EVA, tracking a time of 7 hours and 30 minutes. Limiting consumable is Woody's battery, and we are around 45 minutes ahead of timeline. Great job.
M31.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen, who is EV1 today, is currently working to drive the 8 bolts to fully secure iROSA to the mounting bracket.
Torque of 22, 7 turns, green light, and was that a black line flush call?
And there's a black line to the
Cams, my green reel is locked to my red reel, picking up my yellow hook.
Copy. That'll end up on your green reel locked. I'll take your checks.
You are currently seeing views from NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg's helmet cam. He is working to swap some tethers.
Copy. That's a good config,
Reel
Woody.
itself. Okay, and I think my next thing is to reposition APFR to clocking 6.
Good words.
He's now about to start working on repositioning the articulating portable foot restraint on the robotic arm.
You can both see it here, but we're heading.
Meanwhile, NASA astronaut Steve Bowen continues to work on driving the final 8 bolts.
Okay, looks like M32, 33, and 34 all hand started.
We copy?
And verifying settings, Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
Good words.
And M32's in work.
Copy. M32, drive until black line flush to torque.
Cams for APFR.
Go.
Right. Repositioned. Clocking 6. Papa, Fox 6. Which now can to be depressed. Good pull chips test. Collars black on black. And ingress aid is low profile.
Copy. Good install, Woody. You can give M1 a go for the IEA back off, and we will have you translate back to the mounting bracket.
All right.
I got good green lights, 1.31 turns, and torque of 21.1 for M31 and M32.
Copy. That is a good bolt for M32. You can move on to M33.
That's in work.
You're seeing live views of Steve Bowen working to drive the final 8 bolts. He is currently on the 3rd of 8.
You have a go to the back off.
And we copy that all the tethers are being removed from the APFR reconfigured and ready to maneuver to the park position. Brakes are coming off.
Copy, brakes off. Keep on behind to your right.
All right, I got a good green light. Got 11.4 turns, 21.4 foot-pounds on 33.
Copy, Steve. That's a good bolt for M33. We'll have you move on to the next one.
All right, M34 is in work.
Copy, M34.
All right, a good green light. 11.5 foot-pounds, 11.5 turns and 22.0 foot-pounds.
And Steve, I copy green light and that bolt is driven, but I need you to read back the torque and the turns you cut out.
Torque was 22.0, turns is 11.5.
Then with the arm is starting motion.
Copy, Sultan.
Copy, that's a good bolt, Steve.
All right.
You can move on.
35 was not hand started.
Okay, copy. M35 has not been hand started. You have the same settings.
Starting.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen is now halfway through installing the 8 mounting bracket bolts. He has 4 to go and has completed 4 of them. Meanwhile, NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is currently translating over to the mounting bracket.
I got a green light. The sun is my eyes.
And Steve, is it
4.2 turns and 22.0 foot-pounds. Yes, Woody?
Is it useful for me to socket swap and help drive these? Or
Sure, why don't you just take my PGT and do this off free. Otherwise, I'd have to head over your side.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that.
We're okay with you doing that, but Steve, say again the number of turns for M35.
12.2.
Copy, 12.2, that is a good bolt. Then if you transfer your PGT to Woody, we can drive the remaining bolts. We're looking for M36 through 38.
That should be Bravo 5.
Let me pass it back under here.
Okay. Got it. I got it.
Okay. I've just got to get in position.
No, that's fine.
And Stephen, Woody, arm will be in motion.
Copy, Sultan.
Okay.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen just handed off the pistol grip tool to Woody Hoberg, who's going to help him drive the final 3 bolts.
All right. See what we got. Since I got 26.29 turns, green light, 21.9 foot-pounds.
Oh, you must have gone back out. That's double. So subtract the turns, Jenny, from the last bolt.
We're just checking on that bolt.
By my memory, that's 14 turns and a good green light and good torque.
It's a good bolt. We can move on. That was M36. We're ready to move on to 37 and 38.
Can we do 37? No, I mean 38.
Yeah,
I'll do 37.
In a good spot.
Okay.
Let me cycle this out because I bumped it. Okay. Bravo. 5 clockwise, 2 is 7.
Good setting.
Back to 0?
Yep.
All right.
All right. Like 37, 20. Correction. 12.5 turns, green light, 21.9 foot-pounds.
Good bolts. You can move on to M38.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is now working to drive the final of the 8 bolts to fully secure the International Space Station rollout solar array to the mounting bracket.